Hi, and welcome back to Old School Rhythm and Blues Guitar. It is time for the classic R&B rhythm guitar bassline lesson for the months of July through September 2018. This time around we're going to look at the rhythm guitar played on Bill Doggett's instrumental Honky Tonk from 1956. And the bass rhythms, the bass lines played by Billy Butler are really cool. And so what I'm going to do is teach the main figure that's played throughout the first half of the song, and then when they get to Honky Tonk Part 2, there are a couple variations. It's in the key of F, so let me play the first main version that you hear throughout the first half of the song, and then we'll break it down. Really cool stuff. So it's basically the same riff, but with a few little subtle variations in there. So what we're doing, just to make sure you get this part, is we're playing over the chords. The first chord, or the one chord in the song, is an F. So we're going to be playing this bass line over the first position F bar chord. And then the 4 is a B flat, and we're going to be playing really just the 5th and the 6th strings over the first position B flat bar chord, and then the 5 we're going to move over the C. So the basic riff, this thing, is pretty straightforward. My first finger is going to be on the first fret of the 6th string, and I'm going to get the 5th string as well, and then my ring finger is going to go on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And what I'm doing with the right hand is just alternating 6th string, 5th string. So that's the first part. So it's 6, 5, 6. And then I'm going to use my pinky and go to the 5th fret of the 5th string. So we've got this. So it's 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5 on the strings. And you can check the tab and just look at my finger position here. So it starts out, and then it's going to move to the B flat, so same finger hand position. I've got my first finger now on the 6th fret of the 6th string, and my ring finger on the 8th fret of the 5th string. And now I'm doing 6, 5, 6, 5. My pinky's going to go to the 10th fret, but then it's going to stretch to the 11th fret. So we got this. So that's a variation. Now we're going to do that over the 1 too, but we have to do it differently. And we'll get to that right now. So we go back to the 1. Now what I did here, it's pretty much humanly impossible to stretch to the 6th fret of the 5th string while keeping my first finger on the 1st fret of the 6th string. And I always wondered, what's he doing there? You could use a capo and play this and be able to play that a lot easier. I'll show you that here at the end of the lesson. But I found a video of Bill Doggett playing sometime around 1970. And he's got a guitar player with him. It's not Billy Butler, but they show him playing this lick, and you can see the little trick that he does. And instead of trying to stretch the pinky, maybe some guys can do it, to the 6th fret of the 5th string, what he does here is this. He's going to go to the 4th string and flatten out his first finger at the 1st fret to get that note, which is the same as getting the 6th fret on the 5th string. So I'm not real good at this, but that's what he's doing. It's like this. See how I do that? I just change the picking. I just go to the 1st fret of the 4th string for that one note. So one more time. Then I'm going to go back over the 4. And now back over the 1, we just play it straight through, like this. That's what I hear on the original recording, the opening verse of the song. And then we're going to go to the 5, the C. And what I'm doing here is that same bar chord, power chord position on the 6th and 5th strings. My first finger is now on the 8th fret of the 6th string, which is a C. And my ring finger is on the 10th fret of the 5th string, which is a G. My pinky's going to go to the 12th fret of the 5th string, and then the 13th fret. And then we're coming back to the 1. That one's a little different. Instead of doing this, he's doing this. And he gets the 8th fret of the 5th string with a little bit of a smear. So that whole 5, 4 to the 1 goes like this. Like that. Then back to the 1. And then he walks into the 5. Whoops. 2, 1, 2, 3 on the 5th string. Sorry, goofed that up a little bit. So let's do that first version of the honky tonk bass line all the way through one time. If he throws a chord in there or not, it would be a C7. So that is the famous honky tonk bass line, which is really neat. And sometimes you hear that in other rhythm and blues songs, or sometimes in blues songs. Lazy Lester was an electric blues harmonica player, singer, and sometimes on his records you hear the guitar player playing something like the honky tonk riff. Jimmy Reed, some of his stuff too. Anyway, the variations now. The first variation, when he gets to Honky Tonk Part 2, the first time around, instead of playing this alternating 6th string, 5th string thing, he goes to this. Really kind of neat. I'm not sure exactly how he's playing this. I'll give you a couple different ideas, but we're in over the 1, he's starting out with the 1st fret of the 6th string. And I think I hear it played once. Whoops. Then he's going to go to the F, so he's playing like an octave. And the first note is the 6th string. Then he goes to the 4th string, 3rd fret, which is also an F. So we got this. And then, and what I hear him doing is going to the 5th fret of the 6th string to the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And I can't tell if he plays that once or twice. It's like this. Or like this. And then when he goes here, it sounds to me like he's doing a little roll from the 4th to the 5th fret on the 6th string before he goes back to the 3rd fret of the 5th string. So you could play it like this. Or you can mix it up and play, double it up a little bit. He's playing something with those notes, so it's, that's what I think he's doing. And then he just moves that same pattern over the 4, you look at the tab and you can see exactly what's going on there and listen to the original recording, to play over the C, the 5, So there's a variation of the bass line. So when he gets to Honky Tonk Part 2, he starts playing some variations. Another one that you hear goes like this. Which is kind of a, just a typical R&B bass line. So I'm starting from the 1. So when we're playing over the 1, we're starting on the 1st fret of the 6th string. And then he's going to go to the 5th fret of the 6th string. I think he gets it twice maybe. And then 5th fret or 3rd fret of the 5th string, 5th fret. Back and forth. So we got this. Or you could mix it up and do something like this, where I kind of hammer on to the 5th fret of the 5th string. It's hard to hear exactly what's going on, but I hear this in there, so I'm assuming he's doing. And then he just moves it over the 4 and over the 5. Same pattern all the way through. Now the honky tonk rhythm, if you don't want to play it in F and have to worry about that stretch for that main part, a simple solution is take a capo and put it at the 1st fret. And now what you can do is this. And notice how instead of having to do anything weird with my left hand, I can just walk it from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret to the 6th fret right there. Now you could also play over the 4 on the bass strings, on the 4th and 5th strings. But I think if you listen to the recording, you hear him playing this on the 6th and the 5th strings. At least that's what I think. So there's another classic rhythm and blues guitar bass line. A lot of these songs have 2 guitars. One of them is playing like a bass figure. Then you have a second guitar playing fills or chords or something else. It was just a very common occurrence on records by people like Chuck Willis and the Coasters, Little Richard. Sometimes they'd have just one guitar, but a lot of times you'd have 2. Chuck Berry records, a lot of them had more than one guitar. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this lesson. The rest of the song, Honky Tonk, is pretty spectacular. The lead parts, the solos, and eventually I'll do a lesson in my solo section or somewhere to cover that stuff. There's lots of guys out there that teach the honky tonk guitar parts pretty well. So if you're looking for another bass rhythm idea, look no further than Bill Doggett's Honky Tonk from 1956. Lots of cool ideas there in the key of F that you can also move to other keys. I will be back again in about 3 months with another old school R&B guitar lesson covering a bass line played on some song from the 40s to the 60s. I will see you then.